is this bill really going to put these sexually violent folks in with the community that's vulnerable, who probably doesn't even know what's happening to them, doesn't quite have the ability to fight back? And my staff's like, yep. I said, no, this can't be. And then to find out that the Department of Health, this was all for this, and in fact, I received a phone call asking me to support it. I'm like, you've got to be joking me. And I get the fact that the program is very restrictive, and in some cases, it really needs to be. It really needs to be. There's some folks in there who are convicted of some pretty heinous crimes. Um, but then maybe there's some folks in there that need to find a pathway out of that program, and or maybe make that program more uh, suitable. But you don't take the protections of that program away and just feed them to these folks who are vulnerable. And so that's when it started coming along for me that there's been a lot of policies here, and a lot of policies, I mean, they're regressive taxes, they're overburdening. I mean, they really hurt a lot of people in our state. But they don't go after you physically a lot of times. I mean, they cut your programs. There's all, food nutrition programs have been cut, healthcare's been cut, education's been cut. I mean, that's harmful, but it's not physically immediately harmful like this bill is going to do, or like the Keeping Families Together Act did. So as I thought, it's like it's just going to get buried. They got the votes. It's just going to get buried. How do I draw attention to this incredibly important topic? And what would you do if somebody you loved was going to be sexually, assaulted? You pull out all the stops. There's, you do everything you can in your power, and you don't just say, well, I did a vote and I get a little speech and I'm done. No, you do what you're sent to Olympia to do. You protect the people. And that's where I came at decided I'm going to cause a little trouble, a stir on the floor. And again, I never meant to disrespect folks. The the term that we used on the floor. I mean, gosh, up until '92, the ARC used that in their name and their title. And it's still all over the internet. And it wasn't meant to be disrespectful or hurtful to anybody. It was to and get some attention from the mainstream media on how horrible this bill was going to do. And look, if you had the choice between a hurtful word and physical harm, where are you going to go? To me, it was a no-brainer. And it's sad that some the other folks out there have gone the way they have, but there's the reason, there's the difference between a public servant and a politician.